toxic masculinity.
Left-wing conspiracy theory debunked.
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 ED.
All right, so there was this, I don't know if you guys remember this, there was this conspiracy theory that the left was propagating a little while ago that when Trump was trying to withdraw the troops from Afghanistan, and all these Democrats were saying, well, you can't withdraw the troops from Afghanistan because Russians have put bounties on the heads of U.S. troops, and Trump's not doing anything about it. Is Aston showing his Aston to the audience? Fortunately, it's too bright for anyone to see, but we'll give you a nice big wide shot there. Valeria said that's a sign that the cat likes you if he shows you his a-hole. To which I replied, I used to say that about women. Come on, it's still funny. It's still funny.
Oh my god.
It's one of my best off-the-cuff jokes ever. All right, let's see here. All right, so now Intel, the intelligence services are apparently walking back this claim, saying, oops, we may have got that wrong. Well, not only did you get it wrong, I suspect that the people who are perpetrating that particular hoax intentionally got it wrong. They were basically trying to mislead Americans to make Donald Trump look bad. But let's go ahead and read this story. It was a huge election time story that prompted cries of treason. But according to a newly disclosed document, Donald Trump might have been right to call it a hoax. No joke. It was a blockbuster story about Russia's return to the imperial great game in Afghanistan. The Kremlin had spread money around the longtime Central Asian battlefield for militants to kill remaining U.S. forces. It sparked a massive outcry from Democrats and their #resistance amplifiers about the treasonous Russian puppet in the White House whose admiration for Vladimir Putin had endangered American troops. But on Thursday, the Biden administration announced that U.S. intelligence only had low to moderate confidence in the story after all. Translated from the jargon of spy world, that means the intelligence agencies have found the story is at best unproven and possibly untrue. Yeah, I mean, come on, we knew it was untrue. Basically, everybody on the right was like, this sounds like BS, because there were a lot of rumors that were floating around that were like, yeah, this is disinformation. Like, this is not true. And, and the left just bought it. They just were like, oh, we got this slight scent of controversy with the Trump administration. We better report this as absolute truth. They always do this. They always go, it's so easy to trick a Democrat into believing a lie. Mm-hmm. All you have to do is make it a lie that makes somebody they don't like look bad or makes Democrats look good, and they'll immediately believe it. It doesn't have to even be remotely believable. If it makes Trump look bad, or it makes Republicans look bad, or it makes Matt Gaetz look bad, or if it makes Pelosi look good or Biden look good or something like that, they are just going to instantly believe it. That is the Democrat way. If you want to lie to somebody convincingly, that's the kind of lie you tell, and that's the kind of person you tell it to. All right, let's keep reading. The United States intelligence community assesses with low to moderate confidence that Russian intelligence officers sought to encourage Taliban attacks on U.S. and coalition personnel in Afghanistan in 2019, and perhaps earlier, a senior administration official said. This information puts a burden on the Russian government to explain its actions and take steps to address the disturbing pattern of behavior, the official said. Well, no, it doesn't really. I mean, why does it put a burden on Russia? It's like, we heard a rumor about you that probably isn't true, but now it's the ball's in your court, Russia. You better disprove this vague rumor that we don't think is actually true. Doesn't make any sense. Indicating that Biden is unprepared to walk the story back fully. That's why. Because they're just basically trying to say, but we're not going to say we're totally wrong because Biden and...
I'm surprised you even can find this article that debunked, because...
I know. Significantly, the Biden team announced a raft of sanctions on Thursday, but those sanctions targeting Russia's sovereign debt market are prompted only by Russia's interference in the 2020 election and its alleged role in the SolarWinds cyber espionage, which I guess was a thing. I didn't do a deep dive into that one, so I don't actually know about it. I can't talk about it in any depth or with any intelligence, but apparently people think that this is a real thing.
Do you know why this story debunked? there is
What?
no Russian troops doing this stuff
Mm-hmm.
because they're all in Ukraine right now.
I know. That's a serious problem.
That's
and see, this is the
100%
next point I
right.
was gonna. This is the next point I was gonna make before you jumped in. There are much more serious threats to deal with. China is a much more serious threat than Russia. Russia engaging in Ukraine is a much bigger problem than the SolarWinds scandal. I mean, I would look into the SolarWinds scandal. I would want to do that before I really talked about it. Maybe it's much bigger than I think, but I think China is much more of a problem than Russia at the moment. But let's keep reading here. Yeah, what do we? Okay. In contrast, Biden administration officials said that their assessment attributing the breach of technology company SolarWinds to hackers from Russia's foreign intelligence service was high confidence. Right, so they definitely believe that is true. That Russian hackers were instructed by Russian intel to come in here and do the SolarWinds thing. We have noted our conclusion of the review that we conducted on the. Okay, we've noted our conclusion on the review that we conducted on the bounties issue, and we have conveyed through diplomatic intelligence and military channels strong, direct messages on this issue. We are not specifically tying the actions we are taking today to that matter. Man, that is a mouthful. Can't they just speak normal English language?
No, because Democrats won't understand it and they won't understand how they messed up.
Right.
That's the logic.
That's right. If you want people to think you're smart, but you don't want them to actually be able to figure out what you're saying, you just use this like convoluted language. Because these aren't even big like esoteric words. It's just sort of like a convoluted way of speaking. I mean, it's actually it's just like political speak. A senior administration official told reporters in reference to the bounty claims. According to the officials on Thursday's call, the reporting about the alleged bounties came from detainee reporting, raising the specter that somebody told their U.S.-aligned Afghan jailers what they thought was necessary to get out of a cage. Specifically, the official cited information and evidence of connections to criminal agents in Afghanistan and elements in the Russian government as sources for the intelligence community's assessment. The problem with this is that it should never have been leaked in the first place. What happened was probably there was some military guys who were briefing some people in Congress for some reason, and they mentioned this, and the people in Congress got wind of it and were like, they heard it and they thought, oh, we can spin this into something that Trump isn't taking seriously or he's not addressing, and we could basically say Trump's an idiot, he's negligent, and all this kind of stuff. Trump hadn't even heard about it, and then when he finally addressed it, he was like, okay, so I heard about this. I asked my advisor about it, and he was like, yeah, if this was a big deal, we would have told you. But this is not a big deal because we're not even sure it's true. So, yeah, you have no reason to know about it. You have no reason to act on it. The Democrats are being idiots. And so when that happened, I remember the rest of us were kind of like, it's a pretty simple situation. Like, they don't know if it's true. They don't know, even if it is true, they don't even know what the extent of it is. There's nothing Trump can do now until they get better information on this. So, like, everything that the left was saying about it was just ridiculous. And and so at the time we kind of knew it was BS, but now it's sort of shown that for sure, pretty much for sure it's BS. Let's see here. Without additional corroboration, such reporting is notoriously unreliable. Detainee reporting from a man known as Ibn Sheikh al-Libi, extracted from torture, infamously and bogusly fueled a Bush administration claim used to invade Iraq about Saddam Hussein training al-Qaeda to make poison gas. The senior Biden official added on Thursday that the difficult operating environment in Afghanistan complicated U.S. efforts to confirm what amounts to a rumor. Exactly, yeah, that's my word, rumor. When asked whether Moscow put bounties on American forces in Afghanistan, Press Secretary Jen Psaki said at a press briefing on Thursday that the Biden administration felt the reports were enough of a cause for concern that we wanted our intelligence community to look into this report as part of this overall assessment. You know what the truth is? I think the truth is that Psaki, well, not Psaki specifically, but,
Oh my gosh, I'm so bright.
You are very bright.
I'm sorry, it's just so difficult for me to get out of this in and out.
It is difficult, yeah.
So you guys have to suffer.
The Biden administration, I think...
Can you fix it, please?
Yeah, I'll fix it. Can I finish what I'm saying?
No, you can't fix it.
The Biden administration, I think, wanted to find something was up there so that they could point at Trump and say, Trump was negligent. Trump did something awful. And so that's why I think they went in to investigate this. I don't think it was because they really thought it was probably true. I just thought they were hoping it was true. I mean, it's sad, but Democrats always want... They don't care what's best for the country. They just want Republicans to look bad, and they want to try to take us down at all costs. It's very sad. They should hope that America does well, but they don't. They hope that Republicans do poorly, and they don't care if Americans suffer because of it. All right, darling. Why don't you read the next story while I fix your lighting?
No problem. I just want to say Elon Musk just tweeted everything to the moon. So guys, if you want to make some money, good timing. Grandmother brutally beaten by black racist. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this is a pretty terrible story.
I don't want to see stories like this.
Sorry, that took longer than I had anticipated. The camera was being tricky. I think I hit a wrong button or something. But anyway, we got it fixed. All right. Yeah, this one's quite sad, actually. I hate this story. So this is a grandmother in Los Angeles, and this black woman apparently started beating her up because she thought she was Asian. Which apparently she's not even Asian. She just kept yelling at her, saying, oh, you're Asian, you're horrible, whatever, go home. So these are the pictures of her. Toxic Masculinity. Weekdays, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific.